Welcome dear students. The topic for today's video lecture is significant figures, significant digits or sig figs. The word significant means important. So these are some important figures or important digits in any value. Now why they are important in a given value, its definition will reveal this secret. Significant figures are defined as the number of digits in a given value that decide accuracy of the measurement. So significant figures are important because they decide the accuracy of any measurement. In sciences, do you perform different experiments and you collect the experimental data in the form of values or in the form of the numbers. Whether that collected result is certain or uncertain, accurate or inaccurate, that will be decided by the number of significant figures present in that value. Greater the number of significant figures in any value, more will be its accuracy. So significant figures are basically those figures in a value known with the full certainty. They are known with full certainty means they are the most certain figures in any value. And greater their number will be, more accurate that value will be considered. Now there must be some rules to determine significant figures. How we will know that how many significant figures are present in a value? So there are some rules that decide the number of significant figures in a given result. Let us discuss those rules one by one. The first one is that all non-zero numbers mean the number from 1 to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the non-zeros, they are considered as significant in any value. So all non-zero numbers are basically the significant digits. They are the significant numbers. The four examples are given in front of you. In this value, there are three non-zero numbers, 1, 4 and 5. These all three are non-zero numbers. So all of these will be considered as significant. So this value will be having three significant digits or three significant numbers. Similarly, this value, it is having four numbers and all are non-zero. So it will be having four significant figures. This one will be having five significant figures as all the numbers are non-zero numbers. And similarly, this value will be having the six significant figures. My dear students, just suppose that all these four values, they are the result of the same experiment. Then which result will be considered as the most accurate? You will say this one. Why? Because it is having maximum number of the significant digits or significant figures. And there is another very important point that in any value, the number which is written at leftmost, that is considered as most significant, or it is considered as the digit with highest level of certainty, and the rightmost is considered as least significant or least certain number, because the chances of its variation, they are very small, but the chances of variation of the last digit, they are very large in any result. So this was the rule for all non-zero numbers. Now what's about the zeros? First of all, you will have to memorize that there are three types of the zeros. One are the leading zeros, second are the trapped zeros, and third are the trailing zeros. Now the leading zeros, what is meant by the leading zeros? The leading zeros are those zeros that are preceding some non-zero number. For example, this zero, it is preceding a non-zero number 4. Similarly, these two zeros and these three zeros, they are leading zeros as they are preceding a non-zero number. So all the leading zeros, keep in mind, they are considered as insignificant because their presence or absence doesn't make any difference to the value. If I say that my weight is 82 kg, it's 82 kg, but if I place a zero here, it will be a leading zero because it is preceding a non-zero number 8. Will this zero make any difference to this value 82? By placing this value 0, will weight increase or decrease? You will say that there will be no difference on the weight. It means that this 0 is not making any difference to this value. So that 0 will be considered as the insignificant 0. All the leading zeros, they are considered as the insignificant zeros. So this value will be having how many significant figures? you will say that there is only one significant figure in this value, that is 4, because it is a non-zero number. This value having two significant figures and this value is having only one significant figure because the leading zeros are insignificant. Now second one are the trapped zeros. The trapped itself shows that these will be the zeros that will be trapped between two non-zero numbers. Just like this zero trapped between two non-zero numbers, similar is the case of this one, and similarly these two zeros are also the trapped zeros. And all the trapped zeros are considered as significant. All the trapped zeros are significant. Why? Again, let us take the example that the weight is 82 kg. By placing 0 here, the value does not change. But if you will place a 0 here, it will play a very significant role because the meaning of the value that is changed. First it was 82 kg, now it is 802 kg. So that's why the trapped zeros, they are significant because they make a huge difference to the value. So all the trapped zeros are significant zeros. Then how many zeros are trapped here? 1. And how many significant figures will be in this value? You will say 3. 4, 0 and 1 all are the significant. In the same way, 0.209, it will also having 3 significant figures, and similarly this number it will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. So that was the case of the trapped zeros. Now last one are the trailing zeros. The trailing zeros are the zeros which are present right to a non-zero number and also right to the decimal point. So the zeros which are present to the right of the non-zero number and to the right of the decimal point, they are called as the trailing zeros. And keep in mind that trailing zeros are also considered as the significant numbers. So these two zeros, they are trailing zeros. This one is the trailing zero. They will be considered as significant because they are present right to the decimal and right to the non-zero number. And this value will be having 3 significant figures and this value will be having 2 significant figures. All these zeros will be considered as significant. Now my dear students, if the zeros are present right to some non-zero number but left to a decimal point, if I am to place a decimal point here, I will place it here 100 point. So these are the zeros which are right to a non-zero but left to the decimal. What will be the case of these two zeros? My dear students, these two zeros will be considered as insignificant. These will be considered as insignificant. Why? Because if a student comes to me and he says that the value of the result I have calculated from an experiment is 100, I will have some doubt in my mind that it may be approximately equal to 100, maybe it is not exactly equal to the 100. So there will remain some uncertainty in my mind and even in the mind of the student who has calculated this value 100. But if I place a 0 here, now I will become somewhat certain. Why? Because this value is showing that the student has checked the result 1 point after the decimal even. So it is exact 100. If it is written only 100, it is an approximation. But if there is 100.0, now it means that you have checked this value up to 1 point after decimal. So this will be more certain as compared to just 100. Now all these zeros will become significant because the certainty in the value is increased, and now there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures in it. But if it is written in the form of 100 only, then these two will be considered as insignificant because still there is uncertainty in the value, and in 100 there will be only one significant figure and that will be this one. But if you keep on increasing the zeros, like if you place another 0 here, this will make this value more accurate because now you have checked the value 2 points after the decimal. So that is a more accurate value. So now the significant figures will be 5. That's why if the zeros are present just to a non-zero number like 1000, like 2000, like 5000, those zeros are not considered as significant. There is only one significant figure in all those values 1000, 2000 and 5000, and that is 1, 2 and 5 respectively. But if you will place a decimal and then you will place 0 after that, then the zeros they will become significant. So this one is a special case. Now what's about the exact number? If there is an exact number 2 written, it will be having, keep in mind, infinite significant figures. So if an exact number is written, it will be having infinite significant figures. How it is having infinite significant figures? Because you can place a decimal here and you can place infinite zero here. Infinite zero. So that's why this number will be, exact number will be having infinite number of significant figures, because you can place infinite zero after the decimal. Greater the number of zeros after the decimal, more certain will be the value, more accurate will be the value. So this was the rule for the exact number. And last one is the exponential form. Just like this one is Avogadro's number and exponential form is written. According to the rule, the exponent 10 and its exponent, they are non-significant. They are not considered as significant. Only the value written to the left of this exponent, that will be considered as significant. And in this value, all these rules will be applied, and then we will find how many significant figures are present in this. So this one is a non-zero number, it will be significant. It is a trapped zero, it is significant. And these two are again non-zero numbers, so they are also significant. In this value, there will be total of 4 significant figures. So keep in mind that in case of an exponential number, the exponential form is considered as insignificant, and the number written to left to that exponential form, that is considered as the significant. Here this will be the significant and it will be insignificant. So this was all the rules to decide whether in a given value how many significant numbers are present. In the next video, we will come up with the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the significant figures.